Good morning, and welcome to I Hate Music.
Hi.
Nick Wusz, what's up, man?
What's up, man? Glad to be here again.
Yeah, it's been about a month since we've done this. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, life's been busy for both of us.
Yeah, it has. A little bit of traveling for both of us. You were across the pond, as they say, and I was just down the way, as they say.
Sounds like the show was successful. I haven't really talked to you about it, but...
Yeah. When was that? Was that last weekend? Yeah, last weekend. Agalok played in San Francisco. Yeah, it was great. Played with Dawnbringer, and John did solo opening. Had about 1,100 people there.
Damn, that's great.
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't quite sold out, but close enough to make it feel sold out. I think.
Had you played that venue before? Or?
No, I'd never even been there before. It was
nice.
It was beautiful, and the staff was awesome. Our front of house guy there was amazing. The staff was great. All the helpers were great. The green room was great. Sound check was great. It's just everything was amazing.
Sounds like they took pretty good care of you guys.
Oh yeah. No, it was very, very good time.
And people were traveling from all over for that one.
Yeah, I met. It was actually funny. I was our hotel was like 2 blocks away, and I was sitting there with my fam came down too. So Aaron and the kids were down there.
Nice.
And we all stayed in the same hotel, and I was having dinner with them at this little diner. And this guy walks in, and he kind of gives me the stinky eyeball a couple times. Then he sits down, and I'm like, he's obviously a fan. It's like he's wearing a Bell Witch shirt or some shit. And he's like, 2 blocks away from the venue. And then I go to the bathroom, and he's in the bathroom. And he's like, hey, are you here for the Agalok show? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, hell yeah. And he gives me a high five. And then we end up walking to the venue together. And then he turns to me and he's like, so have you seen Agalok before? I'm like, no, man, I've never seen Agalok. And he's like, oh, man, you're in for a treat. And then I said, well, I'm in Agalok. And he's like, I fucking knew it. I knew it. He's like, you're the bassist. I'm like, yeah, I am. And he had flown there from Tennessee.
Oh, shit, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Met a couple people from Mexico that flew up to come see it. And, yeah, it was good. It was pretty packed. Again, beautiful, beautiful venue. We played Apedaile, which we hadn't played since 2003, I think.
Damn.
Yeah. It was really cool. Dawnbringer killed it. What a great live band. Can't even think.
Wow, well, they haven't played very much, if ever. But...
Yeah, they don't play very much. God, I think the last time I saw Chris Maycock was maybe 1998 when he was up here to hang out when we were recording the Agalok demo.
Yeah, I remember meeting him that time. We were at Sherry's for a while.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we were at Sherry's. But it was killer to see them. And yeah, it was just a great time. Saw a lot of old friends. Amazing time. And then 2 weeks before that, I was at the Grammys, which is a whole nother story.
That's right. Yeah, we want to do a podcast about that.
Yeah, I think we should at some point. I should have scheduled it for this month so it was all fresh and shit. But yeah, it was great. It's always a fun time. It's just a lot of people. Met Robert Trio for a second.
That's amazing. And I was told that you didn't recognize Thundercat.
I didn't. Well, I was like, because Thundercat and Robert Trio were talking, and I'm like, God, that guy looks so familiar. And he's wearing this crazy chest armor and shit. I should have known it was Thundercat. But, I just didn't make the connection. I just talked with Robert for a second, and while I was talking with Robert, I looked over to my left, and there's Dave Ellefson giving him a side eye, and so it was Dave Ellefson, Thundercat, and Robert Trio right there.
Damn, dude.
Yeah,
bass. It's like a bass god convention.
Yeah, totally.
Amazing.
But yeah, it's always a great time. A few friends there, saw some great performances. Yeah, it's just, it's always good. Went to
Highlight must have been Billy Joel, I'm sure.
Actually, as you know, I'm not much of a Billy Joel guy, but that performance was really cool. I really enjoyed it. It was much more brooding than I'm used to from him.
Yeah, exactly.
And, yeah, that was really cool. Got to see SZA was cool. Leve was cool. I'm not much of a Travis Scott fan, but that performance was pretty awesome. Got to go to
see it, Tim.
Yeah, I got to go to the Grammy Museum, which was cool. Saw some outfits from Harry Styles and Stevie Wonder and shit. Oh, and Stevie Wonder played.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, second year in a row he's played the Grammys. So
Amazing.
And Tracy Chapman, dude, when Tracy Chapman played, that was fucking amazing. And that was a surprise. Like, nobody knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So that Fast Car song was re-recorded by that guy, and then she came back or something?
Yeah, like everybody knew that he was going to do it, but then like she shows up. And
yeah, right.
Yeah, it's a pretty emotional experience. It's it's just awesome. I was happy to do it again. So yeah, this month has just been kind of nuts for me.
Nice.
A lot of travel, and you were just in England.
I was for my birthday. My wife and I went over there. It was amazing, dude. We hit a couple shows. We drank a lot of beer. It's just paradise, man. It's so easy to walk that city. It's just really a great time, and I know it pretty well. So I was glad to show my wife the sights and my favorite spots and stuff like that. So
you were in London.
The whole time, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, it's amazing.
What kind of shows did you see?
We saw the Tiger Lilies.
Oh, I know of them.
Do you remember them? They're like these like Victorian like makeup on, and like they're all the lyrics are brooding and about just mentioning brooding again 2 times in this episode, but just that kind of sad. The songs are happy, but the lyrics are all about heroin and death. And
right. Really great. Yeah. I have heard that.
It's just like a guy on an accordion and a high pitched voice. They're really awesome. I think they were popular in like the punk scene in the early 2000s.
Okay. Yeah. Where'd you see that?
They just happened to be playing at this old Victorian theater that had not been really updated or anything. The wooden floors and the walls were all falling apart. It was amazing, dude. It was a perfect spot for that.
That's so cool. Did you get to go to the Underworld, or
no? I didn't take her up to Camden, unfortunately, but that would have been fun. I love that place.
Yeah, what's the bar there?
Oh man, the end of the world, or
end
something?
Of the world, I think.
Yeah.
It was in that fucking movie, right? The bar crawl Simon Pegg movie.
Oh yeah. That was called something like the end of the world or something.
It was something like that. Yeah. I don't remember. But
I forgot about that movie. Yeah.
That's a cool place. I love that place. Well, that's great, man. I haven't been to England in a while. I would love to go back.
Direct flight from Portland. It just made it really easy. That was like the reason mostly. It was like, oh, we don't have to hassle. You get off the plane and you're there. It's incredible.
What is it from here? Like 10?
9 hours.
9.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Yeah,
that's not bad at all. Well, shit.
We saw a lute show, like this Elizabethan era vocal duo, these 2 women, and this guy playing the lute and a guy playing the stand-up bass. Oh, dude, it was incredible. All candlelit inside an old church. Dude, it was incredible.
Damn. You were there for like a week?
Yeah, just a week.
No Bruce Dickinson this time?
No, I didn't see Bruce. I didn't see Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Like last time, but yeah, it's so easy. Every night there's something going on,
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible how much. We saw a soccer game as well, a football game. That was amazing.
Did you get a hotel or Airbnb it, or?
Yeah, we were here, both 2 hotels. We just went to different spots.
Oh, nice.
I actually went to this hotel that was next to the place where I used to work. I used to work in London at the British Library. I did that for 2 years, and walking by all those years ago, walking by this place, one day I'd love to stay there.
Oh, wow.
I was actually able to make it happen. So
dude,
it was really
that's
incredible.
Amazing. That's so cool.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, so it's been a busy month for both of us.
Yep.
March is next month, right? Yeah, March. Shit. We have Hell's
It's already
Heroes.
March. Jesus. Yeah, we're going to Hell's Heroes. Yay.
It's what, like 3-4 weeks?
Something like that. Yeah. 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Jesus, yeah.
Incredible.
3 days of metal, I believe.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. Go to Texas, dude.
Yeah, we're going to Texas, Houston. I gotta check out some food spots around there. See what
Yeah, we should do some research.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anybody has any food recommendations? Let us know. hate.pod.music@gmail.com. Food and beer recommendations would be great. We're looking for things like balut. We're looking for any type of caviar, foie gras, anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. Anything exotic.
Yeah. Rocky Mountain oysters. Shit like that. No, that'll be a great time. That'll be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Well, cool. Well, I think today we're here to, I've got a few listener emails I want to go over, and then we're going to go over mascots and music.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a thing I've been thinking about, well, in a way, kind of like my whole life, because I have a lot of mixed feelings about them. On one hand, I think they're kind of amazing, and on the other hand, I think they're kind of dumb. So,
some bands utilize them effectively, and other bands maybe not so much. So,
right.
Yeah.
And anyway, there's a lot to talk about there, I think.
Yes.
One thing I did want to bring up before I forgot, with my traveling, is I got to meet up with Paul Masvidal twice.
Amazing dude.
Yeah.
So you were down in L.A., you saw him there.
Yep.
During the Grammy weekend.
Yeah. The day before the Grammys, I landed in L.A., and through a mutual acquaintance, I got hooked up with him. And, he's like, you want to grab beer and tacos? And we hung out for like 2 hours. It was amazing.
Incredible.
Yeah, great dude. And then we've been talking ever since. And then he was traveling, and I texted him, and I was like, hey, my band, Apedaile, is playing in San Francisco. And he's like, oh, shit, I'm on a plane that day. And then he fucking rerouted his flight to, like, come see us in San Francisco.
What a guy. That's insane, dude.
Yeah, he was flying from Florida to back home to L.A., and he switched his flight to go to San Francisco. He landed late. The flight was delayed, and so he only saw, like, half the show. But, then we hung out with him afterwards. I got to introduce him to the band and hung out a little bit more with them, and yeah, it was amazing.
Had he heard of Apedaile or knew of them? Or
it sounded like he had not heard of Apedaile before. Nice. But he said he enjoyed the show, and John dedicated a song to him. And you should have seen the crowd. The crowd, like, when John brought up Paul Masvidal, and he dedicated Shadow to him, and, like, the whole audience was like, wait, what? Like, Paul Masvidal's here? Like, what the fuck? Everybody's looking around. And he was in the balcony kind of sitting close to Aaron and the kids. And Aaron said, like, the whole audience was just, like, amazed. And then afterwards, I was, like, by the merch, trying to make sure the merch was okay. And, like, people were mobbing me. And then Paul Masvidal walked up, and then I was, like, nobody cared about me.
Yeah, I bet.
Everyone's like, oh, my God, are you Paul Masvidal? And so, yeah.
Dude, that's pretty special.
Super great experience. Literally one of the most genuine, coolest, like, most generous people I've ever met, like, in the metal world, just absolute stellar human. So
it's good to hear that, because he seems like he's that way, in his interviews. He's really thoughtful and
present,
Yeah,
I mean, like, I knew that he wouldn't, like, punch me in the face or piss me off or anything. No. But, I just never imagined that we would strike up a friendship like this just from meeting him once, Yeah. Just amazing time. So that was really cool. We're going to get into Mascots. We have added some to our playlist.
We have looks like 15 songs on there.
15. Yep. 15 songs, almost
pretty good.
An hour. That was kind of hard for me. I was trying to look for bands that have songs, like, about the mascot.
Yeah.
I found some of those, but that was kind of hard to do.
Sargent D, I guess, the easy one, but
Sargent D, Rattlehead.
Some of the bands only, like, had a mascot for a couple albums, And then
I know.
They move on.
So that was kind of hard, but we got some up there. As always, visit the Earth and Sound web store at earthandsound.org. We have more the I Hate Music Scum designs. We have the Classic Ramones designs, plus things from Moonbladder and Cross Paths and all sorts of shit like that. The Scum designs are selling pretty well. We're
nice.
Getting down to our last copies of that. And as always, write us at hate.pod.music@gmail.com with corrections for Nick. None for me, please. Any ideas, anything like that. We've been getting a lot of emails lately, and actually for the first time ever, I'm having to, like, call the emails and not read all of them because we're getting too many.
Damn, so that's great. Thank you, everybody.
No, it's great. It's great. It really is, because it gives us more ideas of what to talk about. Lets us know that you guys are listening and engaged. I really enjoy the emails. Every time I get an email, I get, like, a little jolt of adrenaline, and it's a lot of fun. So should we dive into an email here, Nick?
Sure, let's do it.
Got some pretty cool shit here, I think. First one is called The Vader Epidemic and the Reissues of Jazz to Come. This is from somebody named Tyson. It's not our Tyson. It's a different Tyson.
Did we have a Tyson before? Maybe the same guy.
It might be the same Tyson. I'm not sure. It just says Tyson.
Nice.
Tyson says, hello again, Jason and Nick. Continually loving all the new episodes, including the newest one with Mortis. In that episode, you guys mentioned the whole thing with Vader that continued into the next episode, and I can also add to this weird thing. While I was an LDS missionary in Minnesota, there was one other missionary that I knew of who told me he really liked listening to Vader, and as far as I know, that was the only extreme metal band that he knew.
Yeah.
There has to be something in the water with these people knowing these guys. Also, in regards to collecting, what do you guys think of labels like Blue Note and Impulse helping people, especially millennials and Gen Z, get them into jazz? Do all of these reissues matter, or is it a desperate cash grab for a genre that to the Zeitgeist is pretty much dead and buried? Keep up the great work, and I can't wait for the next episode. P.S. That Carcass Napalm Death Cathedral tour that Nick brought up was cited by Mike of Yob as the pivotal moment for him getting into Cathedral and Doom in general.
Nice. Wow. Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Lots to dissect there. Let's see.
Well, the Vader thing is weird because that's now the second or third person that's written in with like the same experience with Vader. That's really strange.
Maybe next time they come through, which is not too long from now, I think, or maybe they already came, but we can go and do some investigative journalism.
We really should.
Because this is a mystery. This is really strange.
Maybe we can talk to them about it. Like,
have they noticed? Yeah.
Yeah. No,
were they in a video game that we don't know about or something?
I'm not sure, but I don't get it. I mean, I think that is the third email we've gotten about Vader in that context. And I do think I saw them. I saw an announcement they are coming again soon. So, yeah, maybe we should do that. Yeah, I have no explanation for the Vader shit. That's.
I think it's deeper than we know. It must be some kind of genre of movie or TV or probably video game that we just not exposed to or something.
It's got to be some kind of conspiracy, some kind of like Republican conspiracy. Some kind of,
or maybe they're like it's a Polish embassy thing where they
maybe some kind of weird Polish embassy, QAnon, January 6th type of thing. I don't know.
It's got to be maybe it's a way for the Polish embassy to increase people to visit, tourists to visit Poland, perhaps,
maybe
or something.
Yeah, they want to go back to the Vader land or something.
Yeah, the land of Vader.
Yeah. I don't know.
But there is a town on the way to Seattle named Vader.
That's true. And I think of them every time I drive by there.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've driven through there, too.
I'm sure they've stopped and taken a picture in
front
of
that
sign.
Had to have. We got to find that, too. Somebody send us that photo. We got to find that photo.
Yeah, exactly. Vader Washington.
Yeah, Vader Washington. As far as the reissue thing goes, I don't really know anything about the jazz reissues, but I have no problem with reissues. I mean,
aren't we also the audience for that? I mean, if we are into vinyl and we don't have the money for the originals, then
yeah, totally.
I'm the audience too. It's not just millennial hipsters or whatever. But
yeah, you're not a millennial?
I don't think so. I think we're Gen X, dude.
We're Gen X. That's right.
Yeah,
I'm so bad at this
I know,
generational shit. Yeah, Gen Xers don't care about that, I guess.
Exactly. I think Gen Xers are kind of the ones that are not blamed for anything, too, which is nice.
Oh, I think you're right. I think we're in the clear.
We're in the clear.
Except for maybe like toxic masculinity or homophobia or something. I don't know.
Well, that's the boomers are getting blamed for that.
That's true. The boomers are getting. Well, they have more responsibility in that arena, I think. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm okay with that. Okay, let's move on. So
moving on.
This is really cool. I'm really into this weird little exchange I got here. So you may remember that we've had a influx of Kyles writing to us for some reason.
Yes.
Okay. This is kind of the beginning of this whole debacle here. This last month, this guy wrote in. His name is Aaron. The title of the email is "Sorry, Not a Kyle." He says, longtime fan, first-time emailer, been listening since the original idea when you and your guest played songs unknown to each other. It inspired me to do something similar with my friends. Every few months I invite a bunch of friends over, and everyone takes a turn playing a song without telling who or what it is. At the end, I compile the list of songs and make a playlist on Spotify. A great time has always had, and new music is shared. Thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, that's what we used to do. You and I and our buddies, we would get together and play music, and that's kind of how this podcast started, is from that initial idea.
Yep.
He goes on to say, as for the last episode about collecting, I'm 46, so when I started, tapes were all the rage. When CDs came, I was still buying both, but eventually got all my tapes on CD. transporting them through my time in the Army to meeting my wife and moving to Missouri and then settling down in California. When the vinyl craze started, I only bought music on vinyl if it was the only format is available on. Then I decided that I wanted to buy the jazz albums on vinyl also. Eventually, I was buying everything on vinyl, but lately I've been going back to music I missed in my youth or genres I wasn't as familiar with, and trying to buy all those on vinyl is ridiculous.
Yes.
I've gone back to CD for many of them. Recently bought off eBay 2 Nas, a Mobb Deep, and DMX on CD. Paid $40. No way I get one of those on vinyl for less than $40 in the end. I have the music, and that's what counts for me. If it's a favorite all-time artist, I do try to get their stuff on vinyl when I can, even if I have it on CD. I too fight the completionist in me. Not easy. As for trading in, first time I did that was like a Sophie's Choice. How could I do this? But I'd sooner trade in a bunch I don't want to Amoeba and get ones I do. Every year I do shout my collection of things I just don't listen to anymore. The pile is getting less and less each year thanks to Bandcamp and Spotify for the preview. As for shirts, the blanket idea is the best. My daughter and my aunt made me ones. See photos attached. True, it's taking stuff and making more stuff, but who can't use a blanket? Even here in SoCal, I can use a blanket. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Love the podcast. Keep up the great work. You'll soon earn that 5th star. And he did include a couple of photos of his blanket. We've got some Misfits, Corrosion of Conformity, Danzig, Atriarch, Ale Ruin, Pantera.
They're his old shirts that are made in the blanket?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, White Zombie. Some stuff I can't really recognize. But, yeah, he brings up jazz here again. I don't think we're a jazz podcast.
And DMX. I think that's the first time DMX has been
on
our show.
Probably Mobb Deep and Nas, too. I don't know. But.
Sure. But exactly. So once you really love a band, you start wanting to upgrade to whatever you're listening to at that moment. Right now, it's vinyl for a lot of us. So,
right.
Oh man, you end up having multiple copies of things.
Yeah,
seems ridiculous.
Yeah, I've pretty much gotten rid of all my CDs for the most part. But yeah. Well, thanks for writing in, Aaron. That's the struggle is real with collecting and all that stuff. I just got a massive haul this month for the first time in a while, and now I'm like totally into record buying again. I've been to Crossroads twice this month, so
awesome. You said you got an MOD, bro.
Yeah, I got USA for MOD on vinyl. Nice. But I mean, it was $35 OG press. Like it's not really. I mean, it's not great, but I just had to get it.
Well, that's the thing with cassettes, and like he was saying about CDs, where you could buy a lot more for that same price, you know. And I am attracted to that, but that makes me buy even more stuff that I don't need, right? 'Cause it's cheaper.
Exactly. And then you have like just walls and walls of plastic everywhere.
Yeah. Love it.
Okay, let's move on to an actual Kyle. This guy. We've heard from this guy before, so this is interesting. This is where it gets a little strange. Okay. So this guy, excuse my pronunciation, Kyle Heater, I'm going to say. Heater, something like that. Hey, Jason and Nick. Kyle H. from Pittsburgh again, and had 2 quick things regarding the latest episode, which was episode 70 on record collecting and You Suffer. First, I'm super stoked at the weird Kyle army the pod seems to be building. In what could be a crazy twist or absolutely nothing, I noticed that the Kyle mentioned on the You Suffer episode was A, from my area, and B, shared a last name with one of my grandma's maiden names.
Oh, my God.
Given the area and the fact that most post-World War II families around here had an absurd number of kids who did not tend to move away, I would not be shocked if we were somehow related. We have never met or spoken, unless we did at a family reunion, but regardless, he seems like a cool guy. Happy to take a 23andMe or similar if the Hate Pod wants to sponsor it.
That's like $100. Sure, dude. Yeah, let's do it, man.
Yeah.
That's insane.
He says, if his last name was spelled Krause, this stands. Otherwise, it is moot. Secondly, the episode reminded me that You Suffer was used in a little bit of Silicon Valley. Not super surprising since it's Mike Judge from Beavis and Butthead, but was still cool to hear it in a mainstream show.
Yeah, no kidding. And we should find the clip of that.
Well, I think he sent the clip. Let's try it out.
Well, what the fuck was that?
That's the song You Suffer by Napalm Death.
Oh yeah? That's a whole song? It's like a second.
It's an alert. Whenever the price of Bitcoin dips below a certain value, it's no longer efficient to mine. When it comes back up, it is. So I need to know when it breaks that threshold so that I can remotely toggle my rig at home.
Any idea how often that might happen?
Bitcoin is very volatile, so...
This is so loud.
A lot.
Good. All right, well, maybe turn it down or something. Oh, fuck. Hey, any news?
Yeah, I'd heard about that. Actually, I'd watched that series, Silicon Valley, and I'd remembered that, but I'd forgotten about it. So, yeah, thank you for that, Kyle.
So can you verify if this dude's Kyle last name was Krauss?
Well, so I emailed the dude.
Okay, sorry, dude. I didn't know there was more to this story.
Yeah, so the one Kyle that we just heard from, let me find the email here. He gave me some more information that he wanted to be kept off the air, basically.
Oh, nice.
But some information that might clue the other Kyle in to see if they were related. So I emailed the other Kyle this, and he says, the DNA test results are back, Maury, and I am not the father. I do not recognize any of those names in my extended family. I live about 1.5 hours east of Pittsburgh, and there are actually a bunch of Krausses unrelated to me in my area, so it seems to be a semi-common last name around here. Even if we aren't related, the other Kyle can take solace in the statistical probability that we have probably attended several of the same concerts in Pittsburgh. Conjurer, Guy Again, Between the Buried and Me, Death Grips, Melvins, Boris, Mars Volta. Were you there, Kyle? Jason, thank you for acting as a Kyle liaison.
So good.
Man, it's so hard to keep all this shit straight. It's like I don't know these people. They're just Kyles everywhere.
They're just names to you.
You're all just a bunch of fucking Kyles to me. So this Kyle actually has an idea for a topic too. He says, here's a possible topic. Film clips and samples in metal songs. For whatever reason, I've always been attracted to this in music. Agalok certainly has done this. I was sold on the band when I first heard the Bergman and Hodorowski clips on the Mantle. The Wicker Man clips on the White EP were great, and I even discovered Jan Svankmajer films through the Faustian Echoes EP.
Yeah.
Another example for me is the guitarist Buckethead. I listened to him a lot in high school, college. He has an early album called Giant Robot that heavily used horror movie quotes.
Totally.
By the time I actually watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I felt like I already knew half the movie.
Isn't that funny when you like watch a movie and you're like, holy shit, I've heard that before.
Yeah, I did that with Twin Peaks recently. I was watching Twin Peaks. I'm like, oh, that's fucking Wyndham Hell, like Wyndham Hell sample. Like I knew the part perfectly.
I did that with Last Temptation of Christ. It was like,
a bunch
of that shit's been sampled so much. Like, oh my God.
I sampled that shit on Sloth, even, that movie.
Oh, you did? Amazing.
Yeah. And then he closes out by saying, like, White Zombie did a lot of that too. Do you have any personal favorites or even just songs you like that are inspired by movies? I remember
that's a good
watching.
Topic, bro.
Yeah. I remember, excuse me, allergies today, I'm burping. I remember watching Johnny Got His Gun and reading the book after seeing the music video for Metallica's One. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great topic. And that's, it's funny. It's Buckethead again. So my friend Sebastian from Romania that writes in like every fucking episode, one of his favorite bands is Buckethead too. And we saw Buckethead, like 15 years ago together?
On my birthday. It must have been to the day.
That's right. It was on your birthday.
2010, I would say.
Okay. Yeah, something like that.
Maybe even earlier, dude. 2007.
Oh, man, it was. Because 2010 is right when I moved back from Milwaukee, so.
Oh, man. So it was before you moved. Anyway, we saw them. We saw him at the Dante's.
Yeah, at Dante's. And that was crazy cool. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, he did the robot.
He did. But yeah, so much to get in there. Let's see, because he was saying, no, man.
And Bucket has like 500 albums too.
Does he really?
Yeah, check out his discography, dude. It's insane.
Like 500? Oh my God.
I'm not joking. Maybe like he did 100 in 1 year, a couple years ago.
Damn, that's like some King Gizzard shit. That's more than King Gizzard.
Is Buckethead going through some issues too? Some health issues?
I thought he was, but I don't know anything about that.
No, me either.
But that does sound familiar. But
he's a tall guy, and he was born a coop, so I'm sure it was difficult, being crammed in there.
Oh yeah, man, that coop will fuck you up. Yeah, I mean, the samples in music is, obviously a huge topic. Like, that would be really cool to get into. I always think of, grind bands, obviously, like porno grind bands, Meat Shit, AC, shit like that. But, yeah, I mean,
How about Iron Maiden with The Prisoner, man? That made me check out that show.
Oh, yeah.
The Prisoner. Yeah. Steve McQueen, or I don't remember who was in it, but a British show.
Yeah, not Steve McQueen. He's the other guy.
That's American.
Fuck. I can't remember his name.
Yeah. Cool old sci-fi show from England.
Yep, that would be a really great one to get into sometime. Oh, man, we do have a really long email here from our friend Sebastian, Romania. And as much as I love you, Sebastian, and thanks for your input, he gives me a really long email about festivals that he's enjoyed. I'm just going to skim over it here because it'll take me all day to read it. A lot of stuff about Opeth, Agalloch, Prophecy Fest, and basically he's just stoked on fucking music, man. This guy, he's amazing.
Aren't we all, dude? Aren't we all?
Yeah, he's a trip, and he ordered a I Hate Music shirt recently and sent me some photos of him wearing said shirt.
Oh, awesome. So, did you meet him at Prophecy? Or?
Yep. Met him at Prophecy. He was actually the first person we met when we walked in, I think. So
nice. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. We've got Michael Demers here. He says, I just found your show yesterday thanks to Jeff Wagner mentioning you on Radical Research.
Oh, wow. Thanks, Jeff. Damn.
Yeah, Jeff is the best. And I think it was our last episode. He was talking about how much he loved the You Suffer portion of our episode and how it made him go down a rabbit hole with You Suffer. And he pointed out to me in a text, he sent me so many texts after listening to this episode. He pointed out that correct me on the name, Nick, but the Crab Society demo from SOD, it's something like that, Crab something Society.
I don't know this.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's Crab Society or something close to that. So the SOD demo actually predates You Suffer, and it has songs that are equally as short.
SOD demo?
Yep.
No way, dude.
Yeah.
No way.
Let's look it up.
Oh, my God. Because I thought the whole thing was they went to the studio and they hadn't played these songs. And they just wrote it in one day or something.
Well,
I didn't realize they had material before.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if I can find it. SOD, Stormtroopers of Death. I am consulting Metal Archives at the moment. Crab Society North is what it's called.
Wow.
It's a demo from 1985.
Oh, my God.
And, yep, there's a bunch of songs on here that are 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
What are the titles?
Oh, God, it's... there's 63 songs. So there's one song called Dan.
Nice.
Yeah. One called Momo, one called Arg. So yeah, so this predates You Suffer.
Was there anything like Sargent D on there, or was it anything that ended up on the album?
Not that I can tell.
Wow, I've never heard of this, dude.
Yeah, I'm sure you can YouTube it and listen to it.
Yeah, I'll have to.
I would assume with song lengths like this that it's pretty You Suffer-like for the entire thing.
Possibly considered unlistenable.
Oh, Diamonds and Rust is on here.
Oh, nice. They did that, right?
Yeah.
Diamonds and Rust.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, all sorts of crazy shit on here. Cow Fucking Renee, Rooster Fucker, Neck to Neck, The Drunk Guy, Happy Toothpaste Bug, Food Dog Golf, Your Kung Fu Stinks.
Nice.
Yeah, you get the picture. So anyway, Jeff, thank you for the shout out on your podcast, and thank you for your enthusiasm on that episode. That was a lot of fun. Anyway, back to Michael Demers' email. He says that he listens to the Best of 2023 Evangelist episode, and he has a few more albums to check out now.
Okay.
I started yesterday with the episode on metal fests. Oh, correction for you, Nick.
Oh, damn. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I know I fucked up.
The fest mentioned during the Fuck, Marry, Kill segment was called the US Festival, as in you and me, not the US Festival.
Good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
There are some great sets on YouTube from that festival. My favorite is Judas Priest from 1983. All killer, no filler.
Totally.
Yeah. Thanks, Michael. And our last email for the day. This one's also a little bit long, so I'm going to kind of just get to the highlights here. This is from Sean. He says, "Hey, Jason and Nick, I've been listening for a while and was super stoked to pick up a shirt. Your guys' encyclopedic knowledge of metal is both intimidating and fun to listen to. I'm always finding new music to explore, and the work you guys do to curate that interest is super important in this age of the algorithm. Thanks for all the extra goodies that came with my shirt, too. That was totally unexpected. I'll be slapping stickers everywhere. Hope to see Agalloch in Minnesota again someday. I'll never forget the show you guys played here in 2014. It was a damn near religious experience. Plus, Austin's beer was so good." Oh, thanks, Sean.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Also wanted to say...
Go ahead.
Also wanted to say I really appreciate reviving the show alongside Nick. He adds a dynamic that I never knew was missing from the show, and now I can't imagine it without him. Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, that's like it's a email hug.
It is. The last several episodes have been some of my absolute favorites, especially the Dungeon Synth episode with Mortis. Would be sick to hear more from the artists in that genre. I'm a big fan of artists like Old Sorcery, Offermose, and old Jim Kirkwood albums.
Those are great. Those are great. We should actually do another one because we didn't really talk to Jori too much about that. So
that's true. It's true. We really should.
As far as playing music, we could.
It's true. Yeah, we could do a follow-up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Huge fan of your work. Blah blah blah.
Awesome.
Here's a trivia question, but it's about Batushka, and I don't know too much about them, so I'm not going to get into that. And then he's a topic idea. He has a long thing here, but he's basically asking about our thoughts on remasters and remastering classic albums for newer formats or just for newer technology available.
Well, you know what we think about fucking Dave Mustaine fucking with Rust in Peace.
Hell yeah. That's fucking horrible. Like,
Nothing makes me angrier.
I know. I'm so mad right now just thinking about that.
So, I mean, it could be remastering gone too far like Dave did, but...
Yeah, I mean...
I
don't know. I mean...
There's something nostalgic about hearing it the way we heard it when we were kids,
I just don't... Unless there's, like, something, like, egregiously wrong with it, I just don't really see the point. Unless you're, like, remastering for vinyl. It's never been on vinyl before.
That's different. That's different, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, remastering for a specific format is great.
Yeah, exactly.
But... for the most part, it's like, oh, here's another remaster for, a different label using like a different software, or it just gets to be too much. And then collectors are like, oh, I need this remaster and that remaster, and
yep,
it gets a bit ridiculous, I think. But
some of those, remember back in the day, CDs would be, like the gold CD would be like the remastered version of like the Eagles Hotel California or something.
Yeah.
And those actually did sound better sometimes.
Yeah, but there's something to be said for like new technology or new techniques in remastering.
Yeah.
I just think it can go too far sometimes. And
I think when artists remaster trying, because they're disappointed in how it turned out originally.
Yeah.
That's a little different because then they end up tweaking it.
Yeah, and sometimes that's out of the artist's hands. Like sometimes things happen where they...
That's for sure, yeah.
Like they do as well as they could, or something happens in the QC process or in the...
And I'm sure that's what Dave Mustaine would have said. It's like, I didn't really have the luxury or the time to make it how I wanted to make it at the time. So let's mess with it, and here we are.
Yeah,
but it's such a classic album, you can't do that with.
Okay, but Nick, I'm gonna trust your expertise on this. So I brought this up with the Agalloch guys the other day. Did Dave Mustaine, or did he not change lyrics on Rust in Peace?
No. I don't think he did. There were years where he wouldn't play The Conjuring, which was off of
right,
another album.
Yeah,
but I don't think he messed with Rust in Peace as far as lyric goes.
I thought I read somewhere that he either changed lyrics or retracked vocals on Rust in Peace.
He may retract them. He may have retracked those because it sounds different.
Why would he retract them?
Maybe because he's felt like his voice was adding something different now or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But I don't think he changed the lyrics.
Okay, I'm not going to Google it right now because I don't want to take the time to. But if anybody knows or has any articles to support that or deny that, please send them my way.
Well, I couldn't even think of Peace Sells at the moment. But
Peace Sells. Their other like huge album.
Yeah. Well, The Conjuring he was scared of because he turned Christian and he didn't want to it had some sort of like ritual lyrics in it, and he didn't want to repeat those just in case the devil came down, struck him dead.
I mean, it could happen. It could happen. Yeah. Anyway,
or like online when Metallica, I don't think they've ever formally released it, but Justice for All with the bass turned up or whatever.
No, I don't think they ever did that. I love Jason Newsted, but I don't care about Justice for All with bass.
And I don't think he really had a problem with it, did he?
I don't think so.
I don't think he ever said anything about it. It's more of the public saying, like, where's the bass,
Yeah. Which I get, but...
Does he look back? I wonder about that. I wonder if he looks back and says, yeah, they totally screwed me and that was a bad decision. I wonder.
I bet that he probably does, but I also would hope that he would just moved on and take it for what it is. And yeah, I mean, he got totally boned on that, but what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
I don't want to hear it.
Sounds so good, though.
I know. I don't want to hear a version with bass.
No.
So, I don't know. Okay, let's talk about Mascots, shall we?
Let's do it.
This is Pete Lee from Lawnmower Death, and you're listening to I Hate Music, which I really, really do.
Well, as far as the record-buying youth that I was back in the day, Iron Maiden was very special to me, and I think a lot of it had to do with Eddie. The consistency and the evolution of Eddie as he gets, decapitated and then lobotomized then he gets sent to the future.
For sure.
It's just he became an Egyptian pharaoh. Like all these things were just like part of the story of Iron Maiden, and the fact that they weren't on the cover of this album, we didn't even know what they looked like hardly. They're in the back, sure, but it wasn't about that. They're in street clothes. It was more about Eddie and like his presence. Really, it's important, dude. It's like a comic book, right?
Right. Well, I mean, that's a great point. I think there's a lot of crossover there, like with, comic books or like at least comic illustration and metal. But I mean, sure. You're the Maiden guy. Like, let's talk about Eddie for a second. Like, I don't really know much about Eddie. Obviously, he's like the Maiden mascot, but you're talking about him on different record covers. And like, are there like stories around Eddie, or is it just like these images?
Yeah, it was images. I think they wrote a song like Power Slave, and they're like, okay, well, maybe we should make that. We're going to make that the album title, so we're going to have to come up with something that has to do with the Pharaoh, because that's what the song's about. Right. I don't know if there was a conscious effort to make a story out of it. I think there has been now to link it all together. Sure, that's interesting. Isn't that happening with Stephen King too? Like all of a sudden, the Stephen King universe is a thing, and I don't know if that was actually discussed beyond the Dark Tower series or something back in the day. But now there's all these little hidden Easter eggs and stuff to link them all together. Isn't that crazy? Totally. But Maiden's doing the same shit, Yeah, they're embracing that, and that's fun.
Yeah. I would imagine at this point there's got to be like some kind of like Eddie graphic novel or comic book, though, right?
Oh yeah, dude, of course. Yeah. Have you seen like the marketing around Maiden these days? It's out of control.
Yeah. I mean, like a little bit. So
you can get everything, figurines, right? Like probably toilet bowl covers, whatever you want.
Oh man, don't you have a Maiden cooler?
I have a Maiden cooler.
Yeah,
I have a Maiden cooler. We've talked about this before, where like I've become the Maiden guy, so people just buy me Maiden shit all the time.
Right? Yeah,
I got the Maiden cooler.
It's like me with sloth shit. It's like I just have like so much sloth everything.
It's like I don't have to think about what to get Nick for his birthday or Jason. I'm just gonna get him a sloth.
Yeah, a sloth or a Maiden something.
Yeah.
I think Eddie. Even though I don't know a lot about Maiden or Eddie, I think Eddie is kind of like the epitome of a good mascot when it works.
Okay, good. I'm glad you feel that way. I don't think it distracts from the music or makes it silly in any way. I think Maiden is done in a way that's added to it.
I agree. I think that I'm not 100% on all the Maiden covers, but things like Seventh Son and Power Slave. They're gorgeous, really well done covers that feature Eddie. I think that Vic Rattlehead, Megadeth, has been used well for the most part.
For sure.
The name is a little bit more dumb. like Eddie is okay. Like, that's an okay name. But, like, why do mascots have these dumbass names like Vic Rattlehead and, like, the Knot Man and shit?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they can't come up with something that's any good. Or what about the Halloween one? It's Pumpkinhead or something.
Pumpkinhead, I know. Or, like, the Motorhead one is Snaggletooth.
Oh, nice.
You know,
I didn't even think of that one.
Yeah.
I guess that's it's a mascot. Has that been used throughout all their albums? I haven't...
Yeah, well, see, this is another thing. It's like, so there's the mascot, which is like Eddie, but then there's also things like symbols, like Sepultura's S or Emperor's E, and then there's like actual like sigil symbols like Einsters Ende Neubauten. There's like so many different things that can be like an icon that aren't a mascot, but they work in similar ways, right?
What about the Danzig skull?
I was going to say the Danzig skull. I looked it up.
That's a good one.
There's actually a name for the Danzig skull. It's something like the Crystar or something like that.
Interesting, but it was only used on 2 albums.
Well, but if you Google that shit, they say that that's the same skull that's on Sam Hain's November Coming Fire too.
Wow, yeah, right.
So, but like the Misfits skull, like.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Is that a mascot?
Is that a mascot?
It's become their emblem or whatever.
Right. It's more of an emblem than a mascot, but I think all those things are like really tied together. And in some ways work in similar ways. Like you see Eddie and you're like, Maiden.
Oh, yeah.
You see the Sepultura S and you know that's Sepultura.
That's right. That's right. Even in the modern day, you know, Maiden's upgraded. They're artists all done on computers now and stuff, but still, it's Eddie. You know, he looks more like toned and muscular or something. Like something's changed. Maybe he's becoming even more comic book, but still identifiable in the face as Eddie.
Well,
they've done it.
The evolution is interesting. I mean, I'm looking at the Spotify playlist right now, and you know this cover for. I assume this is their debut record, Nick.
Debut record, and right from the start, Eddie was a thing. You know, he was actually like a head that they put behind the drummer. And then I think the drummer Clive Burr would put on the mask and be Eddie. He'd be like the mascot as he played during this song. I think during Iron Maiden the song. Okay. And then it just evolved, you know, got bigger and bigger. But
I mean, if you look at this little sidebar on Spotify, you can see the cover for the debut album, and it's it's a awesome illustration, but it's pretty rudimentary as far as like Eddie goes. But then you scroll down and you see like an updated version of Eddie here.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Like very, very updated, very different, but still Eddie. And that's interesting because so Eddie's been around for how many decades at this point?
Well, yeah, 79, 78, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. And that's interesting. And I feel like other mascots, they don't change, right? Like the Danzig skull doesn't change if you consider that a mascot. The Knot Man didn't really change, did it?
No, that's true. Vic Rattlehead, I guess, did. I think Dio used this kind of demon, devil character for like Last in Line and Holy Diver, I think for 2 albums.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
But
that demon
it wasn't
thing.
used again, which was really interesting. Like, what made them stop or whatever?
Yeah. Well, I Googled yesterday, like, recognizable mascots in metal, and it was interesting because they mentioned the Snaggletooth Motorhead thing, which I wouldn't call a mascot. I'd call that more like an emblem.
Yeah, totally.
And they mentioned the little, like, winged demon thing for Sabbath as a mascot.
Oh, okay. And so they use that in like T-shirts and marketing and stuff, but it's not on the covers of things.
It doesn't strike me as a mascot either.
No, I don't think so.
That's more like an emblem.
The best one, dude, and the funniest one is Sarsipius Arc for Infectious Grooves.
Okay, so I noticed you added this to the playlist.
Isn't that amazing, dude?
And it didn't even occur to me. But
I was looking at my tape wall, dude, which is handy to have all this shit in physical.
Oh, yeah.
So I just look at it and be like, all right, which one of these bands has a mascot? And I came across Infectious Grooves. Oh, shit. Yeah.
So what's that mascot's name?
Sarsipius Arc.
Sarsipius Arc. Right.
Yeah, I think so. Or just Sarsipius, maybe. Because there was an album called Sarsipius Arc. So maybe it's just Sarsipius.
What the hell is Sarsipius? Is that...
Yeah, play that song. I Look Funny. Yeah, I Look Funny.
I Look Funny. Okay.
Yeah, it's only 26 seconds.
Okay, let's do it.
You look funny. funny. What zoo did you escape from?
What zoo did I escape from? What you mean, what zoo did I escape from? I look funny. I was on the cover of Amphibious Monthly. Do you know I went out with the finest lizard in 1992? Miss Godzilla? Did you know that? You had the nerve to say I look funny? You little...
It's like Mike Muir putting on like a voice of some sort.
I think you're right.
Sounds like Mike Muir now. In hindsight, I didn't know at the time, but I think it is now.
It does sound like Mike. So they have like this lizard mascot.
Yeah, it's a lizard. But it's like a gangster lizard, like a cool old lounge, like African-American black singer lizard guy.
Yeah. But so when you're forming a band, you know, like how
exactly.
How does this happen? Like how does it get to a point where you're like, well, we need to get this like cool like gangster lizard to be like our mascot. We'll put him on our record covers, you know?
It wasn't really metal, you know. The whole thing was kind of weird.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I think it was just Trujillo was probably just like funking up that bass one day, and Mike Muir started jamming with him, and they're like, "Damn, dude, we got something here."
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, it was Voivod with Korgull the Exterminator.
Nice. Has that been used consistently over the years? Or
yeah, I mean, it's not like on every cover or anything, but it's definitely it's like I think it's safe to say it's their mascot. Nice. Not to the level of like an Eddie or a Vic Rattlehead, but it's been there more or less the entire time. So can you think of any like mascots like this that are outside of the metal world in music?
Wow.
Like,
a good question.
Like, does Billy Joel have a mascot?
It's just his face, man.
Yeah. John Cougar or, you know, Kenny Loggins?
I imagine, prog rock bands probably did.
Oh,
I'm sure,
good call.
I'm sure,
they must have.
Not Rush or Yes or anything, but...
Well, but Rush had the Starman.
That's true, but that was just for 2112, right?
Yeah, but it became kind of like an emblem for them, I think.
Sure, it did, yeah. That's true.
Maybe not a mascot, but an emblem.
Yeah, that's a great question, man. Like Spock's beard, they probably had a guy. I'm thinking of like these weird like prog bands, you know?
Yeah, I could see that.
What about Marillion? I think Marillion might have. They had like a Joker, a Jester kind of character.
Oh.
But still, these are like metal adjacent bands, I would say.
They are kind of metal adjacent, yeah.
I don't think like Taylor Swift has a mascot.
No, I don't think so. Or like Creed, Nickelback, do they have mascots? I wonder. I don't think so.
I wonder if Chumbawamba had a mascot.
Maybe back in there.
Screaming Trees, dude. I bet they had one.
Screaming Trees? Maybe.
I don't know, man. Did Nirvana have a mascot? I don't think so.
Well, they had the emblem. They had the smiley face emblem. That's not really a mascot, but an emblem.
Oh, that's on all the shirts, yeah.
Yeah.
That the tweens are wearing now.
Yeah, all the tweens. Ramones kind of had a mascot, sort of, in the Pinhead. He was basically just for the song Pinhead, but he became such like a iconic figure that he was used throughout their career here and there. But again, not really a mascot, just kind of like one recognizable figure that was used sometimes.
It almost seems like you have to have the vision before the band almost and then stick with it. Like it's hard to introduce a mascot in the middle of your career. You know what I mean?
True, unless you do like a big 180 or something. But it feels like a mascot, yeah, you'd have to have it like your entire time.
Yeah, got to start it out. What else on our list here? I found one for Uncle Slam.
Okay, yeah, what the Uncle Slam?
Yeah, dude. I mean, Great Venice, like they're up there with Excel and Suicidal. They're all from that same kind of world, but they have like a kind of American, like it looks like Uncle Sam, but he's like decayed or something,
right?
You know,
he's Uncle Slam.
That's their. That's the stupidest band name.
That is the worst band name. I was surprised when you put that on there because I'm not sure I've ever actually heard them. That name.
They're like Venice skate rock kind of stuff.
For some reason, I assumed they were from Florida, but they're Venice.
all the stupid shit. You just lumping it with Florida.
Well, I think it's because back in the day, I would get flyers for Uncle Slam and Raped Ape a lot, and Raped.
They were from Florida.
They were from Florida. Yeah. Yeah, so I think I kind of lumped them in together.
Dude, what a fucking band name, dude.
That's one of the worst. I mean, Uncle Slam and Raped Ape, like
they should tour together.
That's terrible.
The Overkill Bat is an interesting one. Now that's
true.
Once again kind of used in a few albums, but not consistently, but certainly used in their marketing and the way they sell shirts and stuff.
Yeah. What about, so you mentioned Excel. Excel is that weird like smiley guy, right?
Yes, exactly. They use that guy on a couple albums for sure.
Does he have a name, do you know?
Not that I know of. And the easiest one of all is Tigers of Pantang. Every album they have a tiger on the front.
Yeah.
But it's spelled with a Y, so what kind of tiger is this?
That's true. I think that band Riot, do you know them? They have that weird, fuzzy...
Dude, we didn't think of that. You thought it. Good job. Good
job.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that thing? It's like a weird...
It's like an owl-human kind of thing, or an eagle?
Owl? It looks like an animal that doesn't exist in real life.
Maybe it's some sort of kind of snow owl with a human body or something.
It might be an... it might be an... I don't know, man.
Or an eagle, like a bald eagle with a human body. No, it doesn't have a big beak. That's a weird one, dude. Riot. They are consistently have the worst album covers ever made, even to this day.
Yeah, that one. There's one that I have in my mind that is just
Classic.
One of the worst. Let's talk about Sargent D for a second.
Oh yeah.
So that was one of the first ones that came into my mind. So I feel like Sargent D must have a backstory.
Well, as far as I know, the backstory is they didn't want to be blamed for the things, Sargent D was a character.
Right.
Know?
Yeah.
And everything that's on that album was from the mouth of Sargent D.
Oh,
it was
my
just
God,
this old
really?
World War II vet that didn't like the modern world and just like hated everything around him, So they were kind of, lyrically, they were writing it with this character in mind.
Wow. Well, that's kind of brilliant and kind of awful at the same time. Oh, it wasn't me. It's this fake character. Sargent D is saying this shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
But also kind of brilliant. Because then they don't have to get the shit. They'll just be like, no, man, that was me. We're just imagining, a character that would say these things.
God.
But it wasn't what Billy Milano thought.
Oh, no. I mean, he's a class act all the way. We all know that.
Yeah, exactly.
If you listen to USA for MOD, you know that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, what about... Okay, let's spend a second on the Not Man.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah.
So, Not Man, it seems like he hasn't really been present throughout Anthrax's entire career, has he? It seems like it's kind of outdated. Like, he was around for... Like
State of Euphoria,
Among the Living.
Among the Living. But after that, I don't think they even for Sense of Time. We never really saw him anymore.
No, but he's referenced in I'm the Man.
Yes,
which
That's
was
a great one.
Somewhat of a staple in their live show, I think.
Yeah.
But what is that? Is there like a story behind the Not Man?
Not that I know of. I do not know. How they even thought of this guy, what the deal is.
I mean, it seems like it's just like a flexible toy face, like some rubber toy face, and then he screams not. I don't know. It seems like one of the most pointless mascots.
It's probably an inside joke with them. There must have been some guy they knew that was like this or something.
It must be.
I wonder if the Mad Magazine guys that drew them kind of had something to do with it also.
It looks a lot like that.
It does, yeah. I'm not sure. Not Alfred E. Newman or anything, but it was like drawn by a guy at Mad, and then maybe they used it. Maybe it was a Mad Magazine reference or something.
It might have been. I don't know. Anthrax did such weird shit. Like, just the other day on Instagram, I saw a clip of them on Married with Children that I had forgotten about.
Yeah, exactly. They played Got the Time, right? They played Got the Time on that.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, they might have, but they also played In My World? In My World. Wasn't it In My World?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But, dude, they played Got the Time.
No.
Pretty damn sure.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you're right as well.
But isn't that weird? Yeah, they were like, I don't know. I think they were trying to find themselves in some way. Looking back, it's like they were dabbling with skaters. They were dabbling with punk. They were dabbling with thrash. They were dabbling with like this kind of funny novelty side.
Yeah, that's true. And like, why would they do Married with Children? Just for exposure and the paycheck, I guess. And then it just seems like a weird mix. Like,
well, they probably wanted to get with Kelly. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
She's pretty hot, dude.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. So, in 2024, can you think of any like newer bands that use mascots in the same way?
That have been using them, and newer bands besides like Iron Maiden still using it.
I mean, like,
not that I know of.
Like bands that have been like formed in the last 20 years that have like a mascot, not an emblem, but like a mascot.
Dude, I'm sure some of those newer thrash bands do. Like every one of them probably does.
Oh God, you're probably right.
Because they're all paying homage to the 80s and stuff. And
no, you're right. Municipal Waste must have.
Yes, exactly, like that. Yeah.
Oh shit, Nuclear Assault kind of had that Nukem emblem with the bullet in his head. You know that guy?
Yeah, right. Was that used multiple times?
Well, but it depends on what you mean. I mean, it was on a few shirts. I'm not sure it was much more than that.
It's pretty rare when the same person's used on albums consistently, you know. It's kind of funny when they like Halloween did it and Dio did it, where they only did it a couple albums and they didn't really continue it. I wonder why they made that choice to not stick with it, you know. Yeah. Maybe they thought it was too silly or something.
Maybe.
It's hard to do it like Maiden, where maybe Eddie could be considered silly, but he was also really dark, you know, and he was kind of an interesting character. He wasn't just like this.
Right.
You know, it wasn't like a cartoon.
Yeah.
It felt more of a demon, darker presence than just, you know, some kind of a cartoon character or something.
Exactly. It would be really hard to keep that up. And I wonder if it ever feels limiting. Like, oh fuck, we got to put Eddie on our cover again. You know?
I imagine it does. Yeah. I think the fans would riot at this point.
I think so too. So what's the benefit then? Just having like a recognizable thing that ties the records together and ties the band together into a larger story, I guess.
Yeah, I think originally the benefit was they didn't have to put themselves on the covers or anything, you know.
Yeah, true.
And then eventually it turned into this lore that was bigger than what they ever imagined, I imagine.
Oh, yeah. Especially with something like Eddie.
And now they're stuck, you know?
Yeah.
And Bruce can do his own thing. Bruce is doing solo stuff. And Steve Harris had this British Lion project. And I don't know, maybe they're exploring the music that they really want to play in other bands.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think you're right. I bet Municipal Waste has one. Toxic Holocaust probably has one.
Those kind of bands, for sure. Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, I should look that up. And they probably have some silly name like Murray or something.
Glenn.
Yeah, or like Fathead Joe or something. I think Ugly Kid Joe might have had some kind of mascot at one point.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah.
For sure they did.
It's so weird.
Oh, God.
Are there any mascots in death metal?
Yeah, I was trying to think about that yesterday.
I can't think of any.
I don't think so.
It almost seems like it could work really well but I just don't know what that would be.
Nothing I can think of, yeah. Hopefully a listener can help us with that one, but
that would be nice, yeah.
All the bands that are on top of my mind, they don't have one.
I mean, the Thor's Hammer could be Amorphuses.
There you go. There you go. What about the first two Malevolent Creation albums?
Oh,
you got
yeah.
10 Commandments and then Retribution. I believe that's similar kind of character on the front.
Yeah.
It almost looks like Black Rider in Lord of the Rings. It's like pointy-headed.
You're right. The pointy guy.
Yeah.
There's, God, on the tip of my brain, the Dan Seagrave had this one guy that was, you know, the Effigy of the Forgotten cover. It's like that weird, like robotic kind of spidery guy, and I believe that same guy appeared on a different record too.
What about all the Geiger artwork? You know, it's
yeah.
The artist creates a character. Different bands use it. But the artist is going to draw something similar every time, like Seagrave or
Geiger
or something. Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, Lawnmower Death, the Cobb.
Nice. Yeah, that's their mascot.
The Flying Killer Cobb. That's definitely a mascot.
Good stuff.
Yeah, that is. I can't really think of any more. I do not have a fuck, marry, kill. Do you?
Oh, geez. No, I don't either. Damn.
Oh, man. We dropped the ball on that. Well, I'm going to do a quick one then, since our good friend Jori had an idea for fuck, marry, kill.
Fuck, marry, kill. What would you fuck? What would you marry? What would you kill?
So I'm going to throw this at you. Ulver, Bergtot, Kveldsanger, or Naughton's Madrigal? Fuck, marry, kill.
That's tough, dude. Mary Kveldsanger. I love that.
Yep.
Fuck Bergtot, and then the last one.
Kill,
I guess.
Kill
But
Naughton's Madrigal.
That's so difficult, dude.
I know.
How about you?
I kind of figured that's what you would say. That's really tough for me. I think I would kill.
That's the hard part. Is which one would you kill?
yeah, it's not fair.
No, Sophie's choice.
I think I'd have to kill Kveldsanger. I think I'd have to. I know. I think I'd have to marry Bergtot and fuck Naughton's Madrigal if I really had to.
Yeah, that's so hard.
Ooh. Okay, one more quick one. I just thought of. Storm of the Lightsbane, Rian Chaos, Somberlane.
Marry Storm of the Lightsbane, fuck Somberlane, kill the other one.
Yeah, me too. Although I
didn't get into that other one very much. The
Rian Chaos.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. It took me a minute.
It's
much different. It's a different band. If you're expecting Storm of the Lightsbane, you're disappointed.
Yeah, exactly.
But I really, really dig it. But Storm of the Lightsbane is pretty much
one of the best. One of the best.
Perfect metal record.
Yep.
So yeah, I'd have to be the same. It's definitely a Sophie's choice for me. But yeah, you should revisit Rian Chaos. It's quality, man. It's
okay,
really
what
good.
about fuck, marry, kill Eddie, Sargent D, or Vic Rattlehead?
Okay, that's a great one. And topical.
Yeah, and topical.
Like a cream. Okay, Eddie, Sargent D, or Vic Rattlehead?
Yeah.
Not as far as the music goes, but as the actual, as far as
now I'm trying to see your love of Iron Maiden. Like, where
you're testing me. I see how it is. But
you can consider the music. That's fine.
I think we should just do the mascot.
Based on mascot only. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
fine. As far as the actual mascot goes, I would marry Eddie. I would kill Sargent D, and I would fuck Vic Rattlehead.
I think I would marry Eddie, fuck Sargent D, and kill Vic Rattlehead.
Really?
I don't know why.
Yeah. I like Vic on Peace Sells.
Oh, yeah. Dude. Was that Ed Repka?
Ed Repka, that's right.
Yeah.
Ed Repka.
He did Rust in Peace, obviously, as well. And you can buy his artwork on his website, and he signs it. So I have a Rust in Peace 11 by 17 signed by Ed Repka to Nick. But it doesn't say Megadeth on it at all. It's just like a bigger out, like you zoom out a little bit of the Rust in Peace cover. It's fucking amazing, dude.
I don't think I knew about that one. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You told me you got one.
He did. Dude, he did Spiritual Healing too. Same.
Oh, that's right. He did Spiritual Healing.
Same guy.
Fuck, he did something else I was looking at the other day too. Something I just bought. What was it?
He did Uncle Slam too, bro.
Did he really?
He
and
did.
Fucking Uncle Slam.
I think I found it because Ed Repka. I swear to God, I think I was getting deep into like the art, and I found out Uncle Slam had one of their album covers. Like, oh shit, that's awesome.
Oh, it was Eternal Nightmare, Violence, I think. I think that's Eddie Repka.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's a great cover. That's a great cover.
Yeah. So much of that thrash was Ed Repka.
Yep. Then he crossed over into death a little bit, but I think Chuck was trying to be modern or whatever at that time.
Yeah. He did. You said Spiritual Healing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he do any other death records?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Maybe.
Did he do Leprosy?
He might have done Leprosy, dude. Yeah.
Maybe. Shit. I mean, the style kind of seems
similar. Yeah.
That'd be a whole nother show, is like metal record covers.
Yeah.
Like the dude that did the My Dying Bride stuff.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
And like Death's Human, Individual Thought Patterns, like those covers.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, cool.
And Derek Riggs, of course, he did all the Iron Maiden stuff.
Of course. Derek Riggs. Yeah. T-shirt of the day.
It's T-shirt of the day. It's a T-shirt of the day.
Ew, what are you wearing?
Let's find out. It's a T-shirt of the day.
Oh, today I've got on a Genesis shirt.
Oh, nice.
My love for Genesis is very deep.
It is.
And as I mature, the more I get into the 80s stuff, too.
Yeah, you're an 80s fan as well as a 70s fan.
And after a long time, I was like, fuck that 80s shit.
I know.
No, like, I've come of age.
Yeah, now you're
It makes sense. And I did the same thing with Rush. Like, I was not into Power Windows. I was not into any of their Presto, any of that shit. And then I think I became the age that they became when they wrote it. And it all made sense.
Oh, right, yeah.
Something about that.
You're like, oh, yeah, this all comes together now.
Yeah, the lyrics and just like the maybe the non-heaviness of the music, all that stuff was more appealing to my older ears.
Yeah. Your fucking old ears.
What do you got?
I honestly don't remember. I didn't plan this out. Usually I plan it out. Oh, Beneath the Remains. Sepultura.
Oh, damn. Of all the ones to have. Amazing.
Well, it's
we're going to be seeing Max soon, dude.
Yeah, we're going to go March 9th. Going to go see Go Ahead and Die. Max's new.
Great band, dude. I didn't know much about them. Holy
I didn't either.
Stuff's so good.
I had heard about it, but I thought they only had one record out, but then they have two. And the first one's really cool, but I like the second one a lot better. I described it to Don and John the other day as being kind of punky, but I kind of take that back. Like, it's maybe a little bit punky, a little bit of, like, D-beat, like a little bit, but not as much as what I was remembering.
Thrash,
I guess.
Man.
It's pretty thrash.
It's like gritty thrash.
Yeah. Yeah, Max sounds great on it, man. He still has it. His voice.
I'm thankful he's moving away from Soulfly a little bit. I think he kind of gave up on that for whatever reason.
I don't know what happened with that, man.
He was hitting it pretty hard with that for a long, long time.
He was. I still see him and Gloria post a little bit, like the Soulfly tribe and shit like that. So I think it's still like a presence. I just don't know if he's making music with that anymore or not.
Yeah.
I'm just stoked he's making music with Igor again, dude. Like,
yeah, no kidding, dude.
The fucking Cavalera shows.
Those reissues are great.
I mean, I keep telling the Agalloch guys, like, I'm not into re-recordings, but those two Sepultura re-recordings are amazing.
It's a fucking good example of like how it can be done correctly.
Yeah, it's like really the only one that I can think of.
Me too.
I like.
It's like, oh damn, we can't do a whole show on that because it'll end really quickly.
Yeah, just be like, oh, it's Sepultura and that's it.
Hopefully he doesn't fuck with the Rise though, dude. Jesus, don't go further.
Oh, he's
just
gonna
do those.
He's gonna like change the lyrics, re-record the vocals or something. No, I mean, March 9th we're going to see Go Ahead and Die. I'm excited. I just bought tickets to see Primus at Edgefield.
Nice.
Never seen them before, so I'm really excited about that. But that's not till like fucking July or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have Hell's
shows before that.
Yeah, Hell's Heroes coming up next month. I don't think I have anything else show wise besides Go Ahead and Die and Hell's Heroes.
Yeah, I can't think of any at the moment.
Yeah. Moonbladder is playing in LA April 21st, opening for Thief and Zasther at the
awesome, dude.
Yep, Thief record release show that night. It's going to be amazing.
Just a one-off for you, or are you going to
just a one-off? Just a one-off. Yep. I'm kind of focusing on recording right now. So, but I couldn't pass that up. I love Thief to death, and it's their record release show, and their new record is fantastic. So, going down there for that. We've got MDF coming up in May.
Yep.
And yeah, I think that's about it for me. I had that new Snares of Six's Dogs of the Star Chain single come out a couple weeks ago.
Congrats, man. That sounded great.
And you had a new Dolvin track come out, and
I did.
You fucking surprised you motherfucker. You surprised all your friends by being like, "Oh, hey, I just released this new fucking deluxe cassette tape. Haven't told anybody about this." Do you still have copies of that available?
I do. I've gotten rid of about 20. So I put out a project called Traveler's Rest. It's like it's dungeon synth adjacent. It's not dungeon, but it's like medieval synth or something. And put it out on cassette with like this deluxe packaging. It's really cool. So check it out if you want. I still have like 10 copies left. So
awesome. And you can do that on your... There's a Bandcamp for it, right?
It's only Bandcamp, yeah. Dude, you got to keep it cult, bro.
I know.
Only Bandcamp.
I know. But dungeon synth, forest synth. I'm going to do like swimming pool synth next. It's going to be like lots of like
swimming
ping pong.
Pool synth.
Yeah. Like ping pong reverb and splashing sounds and like kids screaming.
Love that, dude. That's like 20 albums worth right there, for sure.
Yeah. It's going to be called Marco Polo. It's going to be rad.
Dude.
And then after that, I'm going to be working on a porno folk record.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the idea with that?
I mean, it's kind of like porn grind, but, porn folk.
Sex, is it going to like have porno sounds in it, or is it just going to sound really sexy?
A little bit of both. It's going to have samples like Mortician would, but, like porn samples like AC or meat shits again.
It's an exclusive, dude. This is an amazing idea.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm going to, really neglect things like Sculptured Nagalok for these projects, for sure.
Good. This sounds very important.
It is. It's extremely important.
Porno folk. You might be the first one, dude.
I think it's $1 million idea. I mean,
at least maybe $100 idea.
Yeah, it'll make me like 100 air or something like that. But yeah, I'm definitely not going to do either of those things. But I think they're quality ideas.
They are. Make me laugh.
But yeah, I think that's all I have on the horizon. Do you have anything else coming up, Nick?
Nope, not that I know of. Everything's good.
Good. Well, cool. Well, we're recording again in a couple weeks. We're going to have a guest on this one. I'm going to keep it a secret until it actually happens. Cool. But the day of the Go Ahead and Die show, we're going to get together and do one with a special dude from Brooklyn, New York. And I'm excited about that one. Got a little bit of research to do before I dive into that one for sure.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Well, cool. Nick, do you have anything else you want to go over?
I don't. Thanks for this. It's fun talking about mascots. I think, back in the early days, it was really one of the main reasons we bought records sometimes.
Well, yeah, it really plays into, we've talked about this a million times, but like I bought Butchered at Birth because of the record cover. I had no idea what it sounded like, and that kind of works in the same way, Yep. Well, it definitely works in the same way. Like you see that record cover and it's something recognizable you can grab onto. And yeah, if anybody else has any ideas on mascots, please write into us, hate.pod.music@gmail.com. I'm sure we're missing some really recognizable mascots out there, and some good ideas surrounding the whole idea of a mascot. So please write in to us, and we'll see you next time. Rate us at least 3 stars, and please subscribe and all that shit that everybody else says. And
smash that subscribe button.
Yeah, that's right. Smash the subscribe button. Okay. All right, man. I will see you next time, Nick.
Yep.
All right. Bye.
An Earth in Sound production.